Welcome everybody to the watch list right here in the Latin Nerds Network. We're going to talk about all the shows and movies, documentaries released over the past week. Give you our best recommendations or non-recommendations, as the case may be. Of course, joined as always to help us out with this is Senor Jaime, aka Chewy. Senor Jaime, what it is, what it was, what it shall be.
What up,
Doing
brother?
a
What's going on?
doing a little bit early this week than
Happy
usual.
Saturday.
But why not? Happy Saturday, happy Palm Sunday if you're into that, and Easter next weekend, which we will not be here for that. We are
No,
going to take a little break.
you won't be here.
Well, I won't be here. I'll be on vacation again.
Stupid
So we'll be
mental.
back in 2 weeks, but we're going to leave you 2 weeks worth of stuff at the end of the show, as always, to set you up for many things to watch over the next couple weeks. Some looks really bad, some looks pretty good, and we'll get into all that. But speaking of bad and good, this is one of those weeks. More good than bad, I would say. I think so. Well, to me anyway. I don't know. Maybe not. Your opinion may differ. But a lot of things going on. With other shows like things like Manhunt still going strong on Apple Plus. Really enjoyed Gentleman. We talked about a couple of times. Really good. Really like that one as well. Shogun. It's great. Of course, on Hulu, you guys should be watching. So some of the shows that top of my head are popping up. You guys need to watch. A lot of stuff coming up. We got the trailer. We got two trailers for Game of Thrones, which is kind of cool.
Huh? Team Green, Team
Team Green,
Black.
Team Red, Team Black. I'm sorry. Yeah, I liked how they did that too. That was pretty cool. It's dropping in June, a monstrous June, which I'm sure we'll talk about later.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, this week, as always, we got to throw another Warrior watch on Netflix. 3 seasons. Watch Warrior. It's awesome. Why are you watching it? I don't understand. Trust me, it's great. But enough about that. I gotta keep harping Warrior. Let's get on with this week's show. We're gonna do a couple stages here. First is a quick takes, take some of the stuff that came out, give a really quick takes on where you should put it on the watch list or not, and then we're gonna feature a couple shows we get a little more in depth into. So the first one in our quick take section is Palm Royale. This wasn't on the radar, but I saw it on Apple Plus. It's Apple Plus, so I always give things a shot. There's supposed to be some kind of mystery drama comedy. I don't know, starring Kristen Wiig. She headlines this group, Carol Burnett, and Ricky Martin's in this one as well. And I forgot the scientist's name from Jurassic Park, Dr. Sattler. I forgot what her name is.
Oh,
She was in Star Wars. Um,
oh, Doc. Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about.
yeah,
Yeah.
either way. But yeah, so this one here, yeah, not on the watch list. I gave it a shot. It's just, I'm not sure what it
That,
feels like. If it's a
that's
comedy,
why I didn't even bother
yeah,
putting
I know
mention on the list, dude.
it didn't work.
You
Didn't work.
don't
It's
listen to your own advice, dude.
not sometimes you see it on there. It was a lighter week. I popped it in. Look, it's Apple. I'll give benefit of the doubt because it's Apple. This is any other streamer. I probably wouldn't have seen it. But I was like, let me give it a shot. It doesn't. It's not funny. The mystery. 3 episodes in, I don't know what the mystery is supposed to be, and Kristen Wiig's not likable. I mean that, and that's.
The mystery is why you watching this show to begin.
I guess, yeah. So that really is a mystery. So that being, and those are the good things about the show. So yeah, not on the watch list. Let's move on. Quick.
Next.
Next one is Shirley. This was a film on Netflix. Shirley Chisholm is their biopic on, I guess, who's the first black congresswoman back in 1972, I think, and who began to make a bid for the presidency, and obviously going through the struggles and pitfalls and obstacles, set forth by anybody running for president, but much less a woman back in those days, and much less a black woman in those days. So, Regina King here starring this one. Chewy on the watch list or not?
It was okay.
Okay.
Interesting to the matter, but it's just I don't know. I mean, I there was a better portrayal of her, but it was obviously wasn't centered on her bid for presidency, but it was on a one FX show. I'm not sure if it was a limited series, and it had Kate Blanchett. I can't remember what the name of it was. I might have come out last year, maybe a year and a half ago. That dealt with the women's movement during the '70s, and even the rise of the conservative movement through some of the key characters. But it had all these same players, and including Shirley Chisholm. So the movie was I don't know, left a lot to be desired, in my opinion.
Um, Virginia King's great. Lance Riddick, rest in peace. He was really good, and I forgot who was going to be in this, but it's okay. I'm gonna tell him not on the watch list, honestly, for me. Not worth the time. Not that it's a bad film, just I don't know. Some of the things going on to watch. I'm not sure I want to take your attention away from what's out there, else out there. So for me, not on the watch list, and it sounds like you're kind of on the fence. Probably not, I
Mm.
guess.
Yeah.
Next one, Roadhouse. Jake Gyllenhaal here, of course, the reimagining remake of the 89, 88 original, starring the late Patrick Swayze. One of the worst but best films of all time. Very cheesy. He's got a cult following. Be nice, be nice. I love Roadhouse. It's really bad, but I enjoy watching it. This one here, oh man, I'm on the watch list. Not a great film. It's not, and it's such a mixed bag. Jake Gyllenhaal is great. We got McGregor, who's just over the top and ridiculous in this movie, but it balances out. The action some is cool. Other times it's shot terribly and it looks CGI, so it balances out. It's entertaining. Too long, it balances out. It's all right in the middle here, but I still kind of enjoyed it. It's fun for what it is. It's probably better than the original. That doesn't say a whole lot, but on the watch list for me. Chewy?
I was gonna watch it tonight, so I
Oh,
haven't
yeah,
gotten
okay,
onto
yeah.
it. Yeah.
There's some fun things about it. It's Roadhouse. You know what it is, right? And I do like the changes they made. Right, he's a USC fighter, and Jake Gyllenhaal, the main character, as opposed to being a prior bouncer. Being hired to clean up a bar. He's hired to clean up a bar here, but the person who goes there is not looking for him; just looking for a good fighter, someone who can kick some ass because she's getting trouble, harassed by the villain who's trying to get out of that property and all that. Of course, the Roadhouse is no longer the what is it, Double Deuce. It's just called Roadhouse. Not very creative, but whatever. But anyway, but I put in the why. It's fun. It's a fun film. It really is. It's just don't expect a whole lot. Two left. Let's go to the feature section. I'm talking about two shows here. The first one, X-Men '97 animated series on Disney Plus, which is a continuation of the '90s show, the X-Men, of course, where we grew up watching, and it kind of made me, fall in love with the X-Men, the property back then. I think a lot of people were introduced to the X-Men because of it. I would assume those were young enough in the '90s to watch it. This one, a straight continuation from that. I was worried about this one. Am I worried? I don't know. Chewy, I'll let you go first, though.
Dude, worried for what, dude?
I
Brother, please.
haven't said anything.
Brother, please.
I'm just asking for
You're
your
worried for
opinion. I
nothing. No,
did. Go ahead.
yes, yes, and yes, man. The iconic song, you know.
Ba-na-na-na-na, ba-na-na-na-na. Come on, guys. Come on. True,
The
true.
characters, it's updated a little bit, but it still has that '90s feel, right? So they didn't do a complete makeover on the animation, but picks up right where things left off. And obviously, I would say it's probably at the tail end of the original series, it was on a down slope
Yep,
with some
agreed.
of the story and writing, but I think this kind of now it's back up on the ascent again with these first two episodes. I like how they updated the intro. Obviously, they rocked out the music a little bit, which was obviously a plus for me. And even through the first two episodes, as things were progressing, or we're going to progress in the episodes, they changed the intro. They brought in some new characters. They brought in Magneto, leading the X-Men,
Mhm.
and they changed a couple of scenes here and there. So nice little change rather than the same generic same intro every time. But that you can't get that music out of your head.
You can't.
That's for sure.
I
It's
want to sing it now.
iconic. Yeah.
Ba-na-na-na-na,
But
ba-na-na-na-na. All right, so.
man, yes, two thumbs up, man. Hell yeah.
Yeah, no, this is great. It really was. So well done, and it's such a seamless transition. It seems like this was really, which it is, but the way that it's been 20 years or whatever, I don't know, 15,
Yeah,
18
at
years.
least. Yeah.
And it just picks up right where it left off, and it feels like that show, right? This isn't a remake or a redo or reimagine. It's they really took that '90s show and just continued going right from. And it makes it a little updated, but it's not, it's more '90s ish style as far as
Yes.
animations go,
Yeah.
right?
Which is
And
fine. Yeah.
no, this is what I wanted. I don't change it, right? It ain't broke. That show is really good. I don't know it tailed off in the end, but whatever. But yeah, if you're a fan of, if this is really meant for the fans of the original show, I don't know. I think if you're new to this or to the property, you think you might enjoy it. You just don't have the same attachment to it as you and I did, for example. A lot of fans out there because we know these characters, right? There's not introducing characters. We know
Hmm.
these guys. They just so we're vested in it, and I'm glad it did it justice. And the story is really good. It's a really good storyline. What's going on? Seeing Storm, obviously, Xavier died at the end of the season 3, the last season, or whatever the case is.
Hmm.
Not a spoiler. It's been 15 fucking years or how long it's been. But yeah, I picked that. Listen, it's really good. It's really good. I mean, it kind of reminds me of Debbie Off and Weiss in a way, as Marvel does, and in a way that they're great at adapting stuff, Marvel, right? And which leads me
Wait,
very,
wait.
very
You mean they didn't create the X-Men?
they didn't
What?
create the X-Men, which I'm very hopeful for Deadpool because of it, right? Because they're just taking what we already know and just continuing, right? They go off script. Marvel's been crap the last 2 years. It is what it is. It's been crap, and you can say what you will, but it is what it is. But this is a home run. It's a really good. It's really great. It worries me about the future of the X-Men live version on Marvel. I'll tell you that right now. Because it does. Because number one, they have nothing to rely on, and two, I don't see them. X Men is all about the tolerance, the prejudice. It's built off those themes, and they don't exist in the Marvel world. They don't. So I don't know how they're gonna introduce. If you take that element away, they're just regular superheroes, and who cares? Who cares? So I'm concerned about that. This cartoon is still based off the '90s, right? It's
Yes.
still with the premise of the X Men.
Well, based off the 90s, but still off the legacy 60s
Right,
creation.
exactly. Intolerance, obviously Magneto being coming off, being a Jewish, and the Holocaust, and et cetera, et cetera, which is where he got hit. Everything's formed because of that, right? But yes, and I think that's gonna get lost in live version. But that being said, as far as this, great, absolutely, yeah, must watch if you're a fan
No,
of the
and I
X Men.
would say it's just even more. It's just even more shocking. How the writer was axed right
Oh,
before the kickoff. I'm like, what
yeah.
is going on?
Uh,
What the? He finished writing season three. He's like, okay, thank you, bye. I'm
yeah,
like,
he,
what?
he wrote season
What?
he wrote season two. Three was in the planning
I'm
stages.
sorry. Well, okay.
Yeah,
Well, I'm sorry.
yeah.
I keep thinking it's a continuation. So
Oh, right.
whatever. He
Oh,
finished the
whatever.
season.
Right.
He
He
had
wrote the
finished
next
the
season.
next season, and then they're already planning for the third season after that. I'm like, and all of a sudden, no explanation whatsoever from anybody.
It's HR.
No,
It's
we
HR
didn't we
related.
didn't
That
get
that's how it works. That's
the
works.
creative differences. Yeah, but HR. I mean, this whatever they found, no one else has found it. So what did they find?
I mean, but
What
that
is the
stuff
deal?
that stuff that's when it's private like that, it's something that went on behind the scenes that something should
Yeah,
happen that
but in
shouldn't have happened,
Hollywood,
right?
nothing is private,
I mean,
dude.
it wasn't about the
If
quality of
it
the
was
show.
tweeted, or if it was tweeted or Facebook or whatever,
He had an
it's out
OnlyFans
there.
account, and I've heard rumors that was late. I don't know, for whatever that's worth. Um, what is Disney? Whatever, they can do what they want, but it's not for the quality of the show. At least not from what I'm saying, and I think
No,
a lot of
not
people
absolutely not.
aren't outside in terms of the. So yeah, great show, really cool. I'm really enjoying it. So 2 episodes so far, about 30 minutes each, more or less.
Yeah, yeah, half hour
Um,
episodes.
our next feature, this is one I was really looking forward to. Speaking of Debbie Alpha and Weiss, the creators of Game of Thrones HBO. And let me just, before Chewie can stop shaking his head. They created this. They're the showrunners of the live action version
Oh
of,
my god.
based off of George R. R. Martin's property, which he might finish writing by 2069, from what I heard.
Yeah.
But that being said, this one here, a little bit different than Game of Thrones, a lot different than Game of Thrones. This is a pure sci-fi show, and based off of IP, Dixon IP, if I'm not mistaken already. It is based off Dixon
Yes, yes,
IP.
yes, yes, correct.
This one here, there's events that happened back in 1967 with communication with the outside world, and that kind of spurns the story as now the effects of that are being felt by the community now. The scientists are dying off. There's virtual reality. There's talks about religion and aliens potentially. All this stuff kind of happening as a result of that message that was sent from China. They did receive a return message, and that's where the story spurns off. Because it's hard to talk about the game too spoilers. So I'm trying not to.
Mm-hmm.
But there's So that's leave it at that. But it's very complex, very heady show.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really digging it like a lot. I really dig this. This seems a show more up your alley than mine, Chewy. In terms of you, because I love sci-fi, but you're really into that heady sci-fi kind of stuff. I am too, but definitely it's your cup of tea. It's really good, man. They did a really good job. It's complex, but they don't dumb it down. They
It's
shouldn't dumb it down.
complex and complicated at the same
It
time.
really is. It's a lot of
Uh,
moving parts, and like I said,
yes.
it's
There's a lot of characters, a lot of stuff going
there
on, a lot
is.
different,
There,
not different timelines, but different periods of events that are culminating into what's going on now, some way, somehow, right? Um, obviously, there's ongoing investigation by Wong.
Yeah, one from Marvel. We
Yeah,
got a Marvel guy. We got two Game of Thrones guys. Speaking of Game of Thrones, of
yeah,
course,
yeah, yeah.
Soldavos
Lost,
and
Samuel Tarly lost a little
Samuel
weight,
Tarly.
looking good,
Yeah,
looking good.
yes, yeah, a little weight. So, yeah, so
Yeah.
good for him. Um, but I seen five. I've been going through this because I'm leaving
I've
next week,
seen
so I want
two.
to see. So things I'll say this: if you're watching it, and it's good that they keep like you don't know what the hell's going on first two episodes for the most part, right? They're giving you a lot of pieces. This virtual reality
Mm.
game that they're playing, which is kind of fascinating, and all that, and all intertwines at some point. By episode three, this at the end of it, like this was just going on. Episode five, I was like, shit, this is what I'm talking about. Little brutality in the episode, which I'm a big fan of. and you see the big picture and then the holy shit moment at the end of the episode. I was like, oh my, this is it's fascinating, and the
And then by episode 8, they ruin it. No, I'm just
it may be ruined. Listen. I'm on 5 in. This eight total. This can go.
it's
This could very
probably
well
gonna
go to
go
shit.
bad.
This could very well go to shit. There's no doubt about it, which is always a concern with these kinds of shows, right? But incredibly interesting for me. I like what's going on, and at first I'm like, okay, let's get some. But I'm glad by episode 3 we went somewhere, and it's a big shocking. Oh, this is not a spoiler. Someone gets the axe, a main character gets the axe, right? Which is a good thing. I'm like, okay, didn't see that coming. I saw it coming when it's leading up to it, but not before. Then by the 4th and 5th episode, you're like, oh man, the shit's hitting the fan. It's all coming in the picture, right, in the focus, if you will. I'm really liking it. I'm digging it a lot, dude. And really, I'm not saying it's much to watch. This is a show I have to finish watching before I make that determination. Because this, like you said, this can go downhill by episode 8, like big time.
First 5 are great. Last 3 are terrible. There you go. There's the pattern. There's the pattern.
Maybe the season's great and they do another season. I don't know. I'm not familiar with the story with the properties. I don't know, but yeah, this is a really good sci-fi.
I think it's several books. I haven't read it, so I'm not entirely sure.
I guess this is one I could see spanning, doing like time jumps. I think it will make sense if there's a huge time jump at some point. Like I said, it's hard to talk about the show without mentioning stuff I don't want to mention. I really don't. But I could see like, oh, this kind of ways in which the Foundation may do something like Foundation, right?
Well, Foundation had to be that. I mean, that was designed for big time jumps.
I think this one just based off this last episode, I could see that happening in a. I guess I don't know. Maybe it does. I don't know because I haven't read it. I don't know what this is about in terms of the property, but I could see very well next season if there's another one, is 100 years from now. I really could. And you would finish episode 3 and 4, you're gonna understand why. But yeah, Chewy. So are you in a hardcore as well? Not yet.
I mean, I've only done 2 episodes. 2
episodes, but two is
yeah. So, I mean, so far so good. I mean, I'm really digging. This is right up my alley, and this is something I truly enjoy. Something that's complex, something that you have to follow the clues. You got to pay attention to what's going on. A lot of characters to follow. Sure. And obviously with not different timelines, but 2 different time frames of events, you got to keep track of, take your notes, and kind of follow the clues. Because there's a guy doing the investigation internally, but he's uncovering stuff, but you're obviously seeing all these other events going on that you have to follow and kind of see, okay, how is this all pieced together. But very, very interesting, very well made. But that was never a complaint from these 2 guys.
That's fair. That's fair.
Aside from the pilot episode, that's never been their complaint.
That's fair. But yeah, listen, it's well done. I think and I'm glad the story is coming. I didn't want to. If I would have walked in episode 5, still not knowing what was going on, I would have had a problem with the show.
Okay.
Right? But I'm glad by episode 3 things are
coming. Yeah, you gotta find that balance. You can't string it along too long, but you can't make it so quick. You're like the payoff is not there. It's like you feel unsatisfied.
Exactly. This one
is okay. Can I get another meal? Can I get another side?
Yeah, exactly. Because it does toy you a little bit of religious aspect to the show. Like, is that something on religion? Is it pure science? Is it alien? Something like that. It's one of those 3 when you're watching the first 2 episodes. 3 makes it clear what it is.
Okay.
Right. You're like, okay, and then obviously it expands on that. By episode 5, to me, it would have been kind of too much of a cliffhanger. It could have been the last episode of the season. I'd be like, oh damn, I would have bought it. I'm glad it's not, because I'm like, don't leave me like this. Don't do it to me. So I got 3 months and breaks. So yeah, definitely an excellent watch on Netflix. Next week, next 2 weeks of stuff actually. A lot of stuff coming out. We got starting with the 27th Testament. Story of Moses. It's a documentary.
Docu dramatization. More documentary than anything. It's kind of like some of like Cleopatra, the Romance, some of those shows which I enjoy.
Yeah, Alexander the Great was something like that.
Yes, exactly.
So yes. Obviously, this is Moses, 10 Commandments, etc., etc. On the same day, 27th on Amazon, The Source. I had a hard time even finding the damn poster for the show.
I couldn't even find it on Rotten Tomatoes. I know it's coming up because it's in the coming soon section of
No, it's
Prime.
the 27th. I went to Prime and actually found it. It's a kind of police drama, I guess.
British,
British show.
Yep.
So, okay, looks interesting. On the 28th, we got Hulu. We Were the Lucky Ones. It's true story, inspired by true
Based on
story.
true story, yes,
Yeah, I'm
correct.
not sure what this is about particularly, Chewy. I don't know if you.
This is, I guess, it chronicles one family's through obviously going through Nazi Germany, right? Jewish family, and so what happened to them, what transpired events, and what ended up happening to them post war, and obviously years later after concentration camp. So
Okay, fair enough. Okay.
very inspirational, and obviously mostly, hopefully as factual as drama can be.
Okay, well, that's Hulu. Hulu usually does good stuff. On the 28th, we got on Amazon as well, is American Rust, Broken Justice season 2. I think this one came off Freevee. Now it's on Amazon, I think.
No. So
No?
season
Oh,
one was
Showtime.
actually a show. Yes,
Showtime. Oh,
Showtime.
okay, yeah, okay.
So I'm hoping that not once they launch season two, I can go back and watch season one because
Oh,
I haven't gone
gotcha.
back to season one yet. It's
Okay.
on there, but you have to pay for it. I'm like, what? Let me see if
Uh,
season two is because it's gonna come out. It's part of Prime now, so I
yeah.
hope that
Okay.
when they drop season two, okay, you can go back watch season one, then
Yeah,
pick up
this
from
again,
two.
it's like
Then
a police drama. Jeff Daniels stars in this one.
yes,
He's a
Jeff
big name.
Daniels, correct.
And on the 29th, we got a movie, The Beautiful Game, starring Bill Nye.
Bill
Um,
Nye, the science guy.
the science guy, not that Nye. But it's like a true story about a soccer team trying to make it to the Olympics or something, a World Cup, something like that.
I'm not sure. It's what's called the Homeless
The
World
homeless,
Cup.
right, yes, the homeless
Yes,
World Cup,
yeah.
yes.
So yeah, I think based on a true story.
It looks like it, so that looks interesting on Netflix. And then
I know, we forgot something that was much watched this week related to this. Colombia kicking Espana's ass yesterday. I'm just
dirty,
saying.
yes, just dirty
I'm just
Spanish,
saying.
dude. We all know dirty Spaniards. They barely shower. I love my Spanish people. Stop, come on, guys.
We're very sad to
A
say,
little
even when you're
deodorant goes a
friendly,
long way.
even
I'm just
when you're
saying.
friendly, still, these games, they matter. The rankings count. I'm just saying.
Uh,
All
we
right.
sent
Anyway,
we
I
sent
digress.
España to the homeless World Cup. How about that? And then on the 31st, the following week, it's a Sunday, an early drop, AMC Plus, which we're fans of. I think now it's 12 people last time I checked who subscribed to it, so that's
No,
really
no,
good.
this is not AMC. This is AMC.
Oh, I thought it was AMC Plus. Okay,
No,
what
no, no.
AMC?
This is
Okay,
AMC. Yeah,
fair enough, fair enough. But they'll usually,
Giancarlo.
yeah, John
Back
Carlos
on TV again.
yeah,
Yes.
on Spinato, who we
Well, he
saw a
hasn't
lot
left
lately.
TV. He's been everywhere. He's
But he's
on The
been everywhere on
Boys.
TV. That's true. He's been on The Boys. He had that Kaleidoscope recently. He's in something now. What's the show we just watched? Oh, a Gentleman. Speaking of which,
Yeah, that's right. The
on
Gentleman.
Netflix.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah.
this one here, he's like used to be.
I think The Gentleman's a prequel to Breaking Bad.
Maybe it is, dude. And this maybe what happens after.
He
Because
went to
this one here,
jail, then he had to go back to Chile, and then start his meth empire here in the U.S.
he comes back, and now he's driving a taxi in this
So
new
he's
show. And
continuing his TV.
yeah.
Yeah. So the Paris, that's interesting. AMC gives us good
Yeah,
drama. So
I think he's like a taxi driver who had a checkered past, and now he's forced to kind of get back into it. Something about his son. Gets in trouble. Looks interesting. On the first, we got the Magic prank shows, kind of reality show. I've seen this guy does shows on Netflix before.
yes,
But
he's done several prank, not prank, sorry,
magic
and
shows,
magic
yeah.
show ties into real life. He's an interesting magician.
Yeah, it's fun. He's entertaining.
Yeah.
I've seen those shows. He's entertaining.
But
So
I think
that's
this
on
is
first.
more centered around magical pranks,
Right,
which
exactly. It's like a punk with magic, I guess, basically.
yeah.
On the third, we got the Files of the Unexplained on Netflix docuseries and
Yeah.
documenting the stories about abductions, aliens, et cetera, et cetera. One of those kind of shows. I'm always kind of down for that. And then on the fourth, we got Ripley. This one is
Limited
Netflix
series?
show, limited series, based off because the book and they made a movie of it. Talented Mr. Ripley with Matt Damon. Hopefully, this show is better than that. On the film, I wasn't a big fan of the film, but yes, I guess a rich guy hires kind of a con artist to convince his son to bring him back from where he's up in Europe, and he decides to use this new identity to kind of more for himself. On the fifth, we got an Apple Plus. This one I'm really looking forward to. And Sugar. This one here is a detective show with the Colin Farrell, who's been killing it in the last 4 or 5 years, and maybe longer than that. He's great. The show looks really good. I'm very excited about this one. I'm always down for a good detective show. And another one I'm looking forward to more in Chewy's, but that's Parasite the Grey. This was a Korean show on Netflix.
It's on the list. It's on the list.
Absolutely, from the creative.
I love a good Korean zombie.
Yeah, this one.
Within
This
reason.
was Parasites taking over and fighting against humanity. The guy who did Train to Busan, which I love.
That's why I'm interested.
Yeah,
That's the only reason.
Hellbound was another good show, which I enjoyed that show as well. He did. So yeah, it's got a good name behind it. So I'm really looking forward to this one. Of course, Parasite on the 5th. So a lot of stuff to lean into here. So we'll probably talk about the latter half of the week. The big shows are usually in 2 weeks. This week is kind of okay in terms of what's out there. But in 2 weeks, we're going to go over some of this stuff. Of course, we're back here 2 Sundays from now, 2 weeks. Come back as always. We appreciate it. Subscribe, hit the notification bell, and we'll see you guys on this, in this case, 2 weeks.